Okay. So, good afternoon, everyone. In the last few classes, we have discussed many points about EDM, and we have already studied about the mechanism of material removal, as well as we have studied about the different characteristics which influence the performance of EDM. Now, in today's class, we will discuss about material removal rate or how to calculate MRR or material removal rate in EDM. So, before we move, we need to know that why we should study about MRR. Why? So, uh, any any machining process without performing experiment, if you want to understand that what is the change occurs if you are altering any input parameter, what is the change we are getting in output after changing the input parameters. If we want to estimate it, then we need to develop some model of material removal rate, because that is something which we all need to find out. Okay. Now, let us consider we have the tool over here. This is the tool, and let us consider we have the workpiece over here. Okay, this is the workpiece. Now, our main intention is to find out MRR. There are many methods or many models which are developed in order to compute material removal rate. Many methods are there. So, number one, we can find out volumetric material removal. Number one, we can find out volume of material removed. We can find out it. Secondly, we can also find out the weight before machining and after machining, and we can also find out the time duration which the machining process has taken, and then we can find out that this much gram or this much amount of material got removed in certain duration of time. So many methods we can adapt. Now, coming to this volume method, actually many papers or many research papers, they will suggest different methods to compute material removal rate. So if you are going for this volume of material moved per unit area, in that case you need to know the there are some methods or some problems. Say you have got this workpiece. Try to understand it. You have got this workpiece, and here you are going to make a square or rectangular hole. Okay, square or rectangular hole, and you have been given all the dimensions. Now, is it possible for you to compute the volume of the material removed by from the workpiece? Is it possible? Anybody? Yeah. Can you find out the volume of this portion? Anybody listening to the class?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So my question is, can you find out? See, this is something. which is looking like a cube. Can you find out the volume of it? Definitely yes.
Cube.
Now, now you can tell that this much material got removed in say 300 seconds time it has taken, or 500 seconds time it has taken. So you can find out like, okay, this much volume of material got removed in this much time or this unit of time. Okay, so that is possible. Now there are many kind of geometrical shapes which you can keep on the workpiece. It can be one hexagonal shape, it can be pentagonal shape. In this diagram I have given square shape. So what you can do, you can find out the area of hexagon or area of pentagon or area of square or rectangle and the height. So if you multiply that, then you will find out the volume. So that is one possibility. There is another one possibility, that how much weight we had before machining, and after machining, what is the weight of the workpiece. And if you subtract by, or if you divide it by time, then we will find out the material removal rate. So both are possible. Okay, so in that case, say if you are choosing a cylindrical shape, okay, it can be one cylindrical shape also, right? You have removed this. So what is the volume of the cylinder? It will be pi r square h. So you will find out the volume of the total material removed and how much time you have spent. So you can find out the MRR from that. But in this method, there is some problem. Which problem you will get? You will find that in different input parameters, if you choose one set of T on, T off, pulse on time, or what is that, peak current, or you can go for servo voltage, then you will find different type of surface finish. If you choose another set of input parameters, you will get a different surface finish. Because of that, there will be slight change in the volume, as well as in different input parameters. You will find a different diametral overcut. Already in last class I discussed about taper cut and diametral overcut. These two problems I have discussed in last class already. So those kind of problems may occur, and because of that we are going to have a model which will be considered based on the spark which is produced on the workpiece and tool interface. Okay, so I hope it is clear to you what I said. Now, what happens here? Let us consider that we have given 1 ampere, 1 ampere current we have supplied. Okay, due to that 1 ampere current supply, one spark is generated between tool and workpiece. And let us consider, because of this spark, we found some crater on the top of the workpiece surface. We found some hemispherical crater. In last few machining process also, we have considered the same thing. We have studied about USM, we have studied about AJM, WJM, etc. And in those cases also we have considered that there is some material crater formation which is hemispherical in shape. And let us also consider that the hemisphere is having a radius small r, small r. Okay, right. Now, if the radius of the crater is hemispherical crater is small r, we can find out the volume of crater. So what will be the volume of the crater? It will be represented by gamma s. Why gamma s? The gamma is represented by the volume which is caused due to a single spark and which has formed the crater. Okay, so we have considered single spark generation. Okay, so that will be how much? It will be 2 by 3 pi r cube. So it is, I think, known to everybody. Okay, clear? So this is happening for a particular spark. A particular spark. Okay. Now, this is somehow related to spark energy. Yes or no? So possibly yes. So let us try to estimate how much is the spark energy. So spark energy we can represent by ES. We can represent by ES. Okay. So that spark energy, how we can find out? It will be the product of the voltage, the current, and the duration for which the pulse was given, which is nothing but t on, which is t on. Okay, so this is another one, right? Now, the energy which is available at the workpiece is not the total spark energy, because the workpiece is impinged by electrons and tool is impinged by ions. So definitely there will be some heating of that dielectric medium also. So because of that, the energy, working energy or EW, that will be proportional to, directly proportional to the energy which got produced due to the spark, due to spark. Okay. Now, if we remove this equivalent symbol, we can write EW, working energy, is equal to K, which is a constant, multiplied by ES. Multiplied by ES. Okay. I hope you people have noted down. Yes or no? So similarly, the volume of material removal will be proportional to the spark energy. So gamma S will be also directly proportional to the spark energy, and here we have studied that spark energy and working energy both are proportional to each other. That's why this is once again equivalent to EW. Okay, clear? Now this then from here we can even write down that this spark volume of material removed due to single spark is equal to G into ES if we are removing this proportional symbol. Okay, so this is the material which is removed in a single spark, or volume of the material which got removed in a single spark. Okay, so what will be our MRR? What will be our MRR? So MRR will be nothing but the volume, okay, volume of material which got removed, the single spark, divided by time. Okay, so time is what? The time for which the spark was present. So that will only give you material removal rate. Okay. Now, what is the time? The time is nothing but why I have written C, because C denotes cycle time. What is the meaning of cycle? In every cycle, we will have pulse on time as well as pulse off time. Okay, so C is nothing but TC is nothing but denoted by the combination of pulse on time and pulse off time. That means T on and T off. Okay, clear. Now, so we can further write it as MRR is equal to gamma S divided by T on plus T off. So T on plus T off. So TC is equal to T on plus T off. Remember it. Clear? I hope everybody understood it up to now. Okay. Now next. So everyone has noted down this. I'll move to next page.
Sir, wait for 1 minute, sir.
Okay. Note it down.
Completed, sir.
Okay. Now in this formula, we are going to substitute some other values. Which other values? We have already computed the value of this. That means sigma s. Okay. So what we have seen this sorry gamma s. Gamma s is equal to G into ES. Yes or no? And what we have seen, ES is equal to V into I into T on. Is it clear to all? So in place of sigma S, we are going to write this one G into ES, and in place of ES, we are going to write V into I into T on. So that is what we are going to do. And if we write that, then we will find that MRR, material removal rate, is equal to G into V into I into T on divided by T on plus T off. So further, if we calculate it, it will become G. If we substitute or if we make some changes over here, like the numerator we will divide by T on, denominator also will divide by T on. Then this here T on will be cancelled and it will come here. So we will find it will be equal to G into V into I, G into V into I divided by T on plus T off divided by T on, which can be further written as G into V into I divided by 1 plus T off by T on. So this can become our MRR. Okay. So note it down, everyone. This is the final expression of material removal due to a single spark. Due to a single spark. And this is developed with assumption that the crater which got formed due to that spark is hemispherical in shape. Okay, I hope it is clear. Now, from this expression, what we can understand? We can understand if we increase voltage, then our MRR will definitely increase. Similarly, if we increase I or current, then also our material removal rate will increase. If we increase pulse on time T on, then also our material removal rate will increase. Okay, but what one thing what we found is that this T off, if it is increased, then the denominator will increase. Okay, so T on if we increase, then also the denominator will increase. T off also if we increase, then also denominator will increase. Okay, so we have to make this or T on or T off, we have to choose properly, and there is some minimum value which should be there in order to remove material. So anyhow, I'll come to that point afterwards. Okay. So I hope till now material removal model you people have already written. Now next what happens? So have you written it down? This part is over. Then we will move forward. So this is not enough. Uh, we need to know about product quality. Okay. So we are very much interested in getting good quality product. We are very much interested in getting or fetching good quality product after machining. Okay. Now, what is or how we can say that a product is having a very good quality? Number one, it must have good surface finish. Number two, there are some problem called overcut, which has to be reduced, and there is another one problem which is called taper cut, which has to be reduced. Already in last class I have discussed it. Okay, these things somehow we have to overcome. Okay, now in the previous case what I said, that we had a tool. Okay, and we have supplied 1 ampere current. Because of that, only one spark got generated, which is forming one crater. Now what if we give, suppose this is tool, and suppose here we have got the workpiece. So 1 ampere means one spark, so it will generate one crater. If we give 2 ampere, then what will happen? We will get another one spark, maybe here. So that will form another one crater. Okay. Then if we give another one spark, that means 3 ampere if we give, so that will create another one crater. 4 ampere, another one crater. 5 ampere, another one crater. Okay. So this is how we will be getting some craters. Now, number one quality will go with, that is surface roughness or surface finish. Our expectation is to have better surface finish. Okay. Now here you see, due to this crater formation, this is the work tool surface, and here it will be somewhat like this. So we will be finding some average roughness, or we will be finding some roughness which I am representing by Rm, mean roughness, Rm. Okay, now next. So we will study about surface roughness model, and then remaining 2 points also we will discuss what is overcut or whether we can work on this problem or not. Then what is taper cut and whether there is some way to overcome this problem or not, we will see. So number one, we will go for surface roughness model. We will go with surface roughness model. Okay. So I will show you the previous page. You just go through this. Just go through this. What we have written here, we have written gamma is, that means the volume of material removed due to a single spark is equal to 2/3 pi r cube. We have written it. Okay. So from this one or this equation, we can easily find out the value of r. Okay. Now, try to recall this. Okay. You people have noted it down mostly. Now, here you see in this diagram. Here I will draw in a bigger way. So this is our spark, and we have got the crater formation. So here to here, this will be nothing but the radius of the crater, and in this diagram what I said, that Rm is the mean radius, okay, or mean roughness, not radius, mean roughness. So because of that, this Rm will be equal to R, okay, and from the formula of gamma s, that means the volume of material removed due to single spark, we can compute the R value as I have said, and it will be 3/2 gamma s to the power 1/3. Okay, and we have also studied that gamma s is equal to G into Es, where Es is the spark energy. Okay, so from here, as we are keeping that, if we make this, what is the meaning of this? Meaning of this is 3/2 to the power 1/3 multiplied by gamma s to the power 1/3. Okay, so we also have noticed that this gamma s was proportional to E of s, as well as it was proportional to EW. So from there we can write Rm, that is proportional to, so we are removing this because 3/2 to the power 1/3, it will become constant. So we are now keeping equivalent sign, and that will be equivalent to gamma s to the power 1/3, and that has to become proportional to E of s to the power 1/3, because this G is constant. So we are removing the constant and we are keeping this proportional terminology. And we have already studied what is E of s. That is nothing but equal to V into I into T on. So this one's to the power 1/3 is equal to nothing but this one's to the power 1/3. I hope nobody has any confusion in that. Yes or no? So you understood this, what I said? Now we found out that Rm, that means roughness value or mean roughness, is proportional to V I T on to the power 1/3. Now here what terminologies we have? We have voltage, we have current, we have T on. Okay. So what is the meaning of it? Meaning of it is, if we alter voltage, current and pulse on time, then that will hamper or that will only affect on surface roughness of the finished product. Okay. So here T off doesn't play any role at all. T off doesn't play any role at all. Okay. So if that is the case, so finally we understood. So we got this one. This is one formula which we got, that is surface roughness model, and MRR model we have already seen. This is our MRR model. Okay. So everyone separately write these two equations. Okay, this one equation, and another equation is MRR equation. MRR, which is equal to G multiplied by VI divided by 1 plus T off divided by T on. Everyone keep these two equations aside. Okay. So if we want productivity and quality at the same time, then our intention should be to increase MRR and to decrease the surface roughness value. Okay, that means the surface smoothness of surface should be good and material removal rate should be good. Okay, so surface roughness and surface smoothness both are different. Okay, just opposite to each other, and because of that reason, here I have written this, that surface roughness has to be minimized and MRR has to be maximized. Okay, so if we increase I value from these two equations, you just have a look. If we increase I value, what will happen? MRR is increasing. Okay, MRR will definitely increase. But the problem is, if we increase I value, surface roughness also will increase. Okay. And similarly, if we increase V, MRR will increase as well as surface roughness also will increase. Then what to do? We have to somehow reduce the value of T on. Okay, as well as T of value in order to get good surface roughness as well as MRR, but which is not possible. So there is some limit up to which we can reduce T on and T off. Otherwise, it will be difficult for us to continue machining operation. So who got a doubt in this? Is there anyone who has got any doubt? Nobody. Okay, if you listen, then only you will get doubt. Huh? Okay, so this is another one model. Now, second and third one, I discussed about overcut and taper cut. Okay, I said that we have to look into these two aspects also if we talk about quality product. Okay, a product quality. So, what we have to do? Number one, can we overcome this diameter overcut? Can we overcome it? My answer will be no, because there will be some overcut. We cannot prevent that. Then what about dimensional accuracy then? Because of this overcut, we need to make or we need to choose the tool design in proper way. A tool has to be designed properly. Say if we have, I'll come to this overcut first. I will come to this overcut. Okay. So if we choose this one as tool, which is having say diameter of 15. Diameter is 15. And definitely the workpiece will have the hole which will have diameter of say somewhere around 15.6. That means this point 0.6 unit, maybe mm, will be our overcut. Okay, how to reduce that? So we need to reduce, or we have to choose a tool which will be this much less in diameter. Then it is possible, or else uh, we have to perform some experiments, and we need to choose the correct tool or correct diameter tool in order to get exact 15 diameter in the hole or in the machining zone. Okay, so that is the possibility which we have. Otherwise, there will be some problem definitely, or we cannot get exact dimension all the time. And another one problem was taper cut. So in the previous class, I have discussed that if you are having this kind of workpiece, you are going to find something like this. And why it happens? Because the free electrons will move in all the directions. I have already discussed about that this workpiece will be positive and the tool will be negative, and the electrons will flow from all the directions, and as it is getting attracted towards the workpiece. Then how to prevent this overcut? Is there any option available with us? My answer is yes. So why yes? Because if we can restrict the electrons to flow only in this direction, and somehow if we can prevent the electrons to flow in the in all these surrounding directions, then our goal will be achieved. In order to perform that, if we insulate this position, say here, if we apply some coating, insulator coating, if we give, what will happen? From this side, electrons cannot flow. From this side, electrons cannot flow. Only electrons will be able to flow in this direction. So by which we can prevent or we can avoid the taper cut problem. Okay. So this is about the product quality. Okay. So if anyone has any doubt or any difficulty, so you can ask me. And in next class, I will be discussing about different circuits which we adapt in EDM generators or EDM process, because somehow we need to give or we have to supply pulses, how we are supplying, so for which kind of generators are available, what is the circuit diagram, and how much MRR we will get, what is the influence in T on and T off. So those things we will study in the next class. Meanwhile, if anyone has any difficulty in understanding any topic of today's, then you are free to ask me. Anybody having any difficulty?